we're going to use a number line. You can see that on your desks. I have taped number lines. They go from -20 to +20. I would suggest using them when you are given problems that you don't know the answer to or you're unsure of. Okay, it's always better to use the manipulatives than to get the wrong answer, correct? Okay, so the way that integer line works is we're going to find -3 plus a -2. So if you put your finger at -3 in your book, and then it says we're going to move, from there, we're going to move 2 units down to show -2, right? So down 2, you would end up where? At -5. So -3 plus -2 is -5. Okay, so we don't have -26 on our integer line that you have on your desks, but if I have 26 negatives and I add 17 more negatives, how many total negatives do I have? 43 negatives. And we made a rule yesterday. What was the rule we talked about yesterday?
If there's 2 negatives, it's going to be always less than, it's going to be have greater absolute value, negative number.
Not quite, that's the other one. So this one was, if we have a -2, if we're adding 2 negatives, that means all you have is negative, so your answer is also going to be negative. But to find the number, we add their absolute value. So we would do the absolute value of -26 is 26 plus the absolute value of -17 is
17.
So then 26 plus 17 is 43. But we know that the only chips we have are negative chips, therefore it's a -43. Okay, that was the rule we talked about yesterday. Questions on that? Got it A, B, and C on your own. Check with your elbow partner, and then stand quietly. Yes. All right, got it A. I'm ignoring you. Got it A. -5 plus a -7 gives me, DJ? -12, right?
Yes.
I have the notebook.
So A is -12. Give me a thumbs up if that's what you got. Good. Okay, on B, -10 plus -4 gives me what, Josie? -14. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, and C, -14 plus -16, Jude? -30. Give me a thumbs up. Awesome. Okay. Moving on to the next one. So now we have adding integers with different signs. We talked about that yesterday. We are going to first use our number line. Ooh, I don't know, let me scroll. So now we're going to start at a +5. So you put your finger on +5. And then we're going to go backwards how many? -3, so we would go backwards 1, 2, 3. Where do we end up? 2. So 5 plus a -3 is 2. Okay, we also have -3 plus 2. I'm going to start where?
-3 and go 2.
And I'm going to go forward or backwards? Forward, how many?
-1 or 2.
Go forward, how many?
2.
2, so I go 1, 2. Where do I end up?
-1.
-1. Okay, yesterday when we had our integer chips, if we had something like 5 plus a -3, I would start off with 5 positives, and then I would add 3 negatives. What could I do now?
They cancel out.
They don't cancel out. What do they make?
One positive, 0.
They zero out.
They make a 0 pair, so that makes a 0 pair. That makes a 0 pair. That makes a 0 pair.
That means you have 2.
You can get rid of 0 pairs, so what am I left with?
2.
2 what?
Positive.
Is that what I got when I use the number line?
Yes.
So now you have another strategy to solve for adding integers. Questions? Okay, we also talked about a rule yesterday, so I'm going to go through that again to remind you. What was our rule when we added a negative and a positive together? Okay.
The one with the greater absolute value if it's positive, then the answer is going to be positive, and if it's negative, it's going to be negative.
Exactly. So the number with the greater absolute value, so if we look at number 4, which number has a greater absolute value, negative 3 or 2? Negative 3. So my answer is going to be the same sign, so my answer should be negative. And then what do I do to figure out the number-wise?
You can just subtract them.
I subtract the,
2 from 3.
so I subtract the absolute value. So I take the absolute value of 3, which is 3, and I subtract 2, so I get,
1.
so my answer is,
Negative 1.
okay, so that's another way. I want you to do D and E. Go. D, I went ahead and drew out your integer chips if you are using integer chips. Okay, I have 6 positives. I added 7 negatives. How many 0 pairs can I make?
6.
6 of them, right? Because I have 6 yellow and 6 red. So then what am I left with?
1
Negative.
negative.
Negative, so my answer for D is
Negative 1.
-1. Give me a thumbs up if that's what you got. Okay. On E, is my answer going to be negative or positive?
Positive.
Positive because it has the greater absolute value.
Yes.
So then the absolute value of 19 minus 15 is what?
4.
4. So my answer for E should have been positive 4. Give me a thumbs up if that's what you got.
Yes.
Good. Carter, please stop working ahead.
Jeez, Carter.
Okay, next one. So we have example 5, 6, and 7. So we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're making 0 pairs. So if you have 7 positives and you add 7 negatives, what's your answer? 0, because you made exactly the same 0 pairs. On 6, if you start with 8 negatives, so if you put your finger on your number lines on your desk, go ahead and do that.
I can't see.
You can move the stuff off. Put your finger at -8. Are you going to go up or down? Up how many?
2.
3.
It says add 3, so we go up 3. Where do you end up? Negative what?
5.
Negative 5. So negative 3 plus 8 is negative 5. Questions on that one?
No.
Okay, side conversations need to stop, please. On 7, we have 2 plus a negative 15 plus a negative 2. Is there a 0 pair that you can see right off the bat that you would like to get rid of?
Yes.
Kenyon?
2 and negative 2.
Okay, if we have 2 positives and we have 2 negatives, that makes a 0 pair, correct? So we get rid of our 0 pair, and what are you left with?
Negative 15.
So what's the answer?
Negative 15.
Question? Okay, F, G, and H. Go. Example 8.
I'm gonna be mean at like
This is recording, so I can show your parents how mean you are.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Okay,
I made it.
are we done?
Yeah.
Okay, example
I made
example 8. Carter, read it.
The roller coaster starts at point A, it goes up 20 feet down, 32 feet, and then up 16 feet to point B. Write an addition sentence when height at point B and a relation to point A, and focus on explaining feet.
Okay, so first we have to write a addition sentence. So we're going to underline it goes up 20 feet, down 32 feet, and then goes up 16 feet. So how do you write up 20?
Plus 20.
Okay, so positive 20. And then we're going to add, we go down 32, so that's plus
Negative 32.
plus negative 32. And then we're going to add, we go up 16, so that is
16.
a 16, so I'm just going to write plus 16. There's our addition sentence. Question?
No.
Okay. What would you like to do to solve this?
You just do it. I mean,
Okay, so Sarah says I want to add my positives together to figure out how many positives I have. So what is 20 plus 16?
that's 36.
36? So 36 plus a negative 32. Do you have more positives or negatives?
Positives.
Positives. How many more positives do you
4.
have?
4.
So my answer should be
4.
4. But we're not done because it says explain its meaning. What does this 4 mean?
It is
The
how many
The B one is that was like 4 feet higher, right?
Exactly. Okay, point B is 4 feet higher than where we started at point A. If we would have gotten an answer of negative 4, what does that mean?
It's
4
4
feet lower.
It would be 4 feet lower than what we started at, correct? Yeah. Okay, try I on your own.